It was a wonderful day on the island of Sodor, and Thomas the Tank Engine was coasting down his branch line. He wasn't going too fast, at a decent speed at most, but was still keeping up the time. Oh, it's a wonderful day to be back. It feels so good to coast down this line again. My goodness, you're a cherry. Of course I am, Clarabelle. This branch line is back in business. Because of the Halloween, nobody's been really coming on this branch line, but now that Halloween's over with, this branch line is back. And it feels nice to stretch my wheels again. Seems a little bit dull, doesn't it? Looks like we're gonna have to speed it up. No, Thomas, don't ruin it now! It was so peaceful! Oh, don't worry, Annie and Clarabelle. Just a little fun. No! No! Thomas, slow down! Your passengers don't like being bumped! Oh, I'm barely going fast at all! They're probably having fun! Thomas, you should listen to your coaches, they have a point! I'm not going that fast, driver. I'll prove it by stopping safely at this red signal up ahead. Oh, there's Duck! I don't think we're gonna make it in time! Oh! Duck, move! Oh no! What? Oh dear. Is everyone alright? Was anyone hurt? I have nothing to say. Exactly what I get for having a perfect day, just minding my own business. But no, freaking train's gonna... Disgraceful! I've never been so scared in my life! There are children on this train! Well, let's go. No, Thomas, you know not to go at high speeds with passengers. You could have injured someone. Thomas, if you keep this up, people could be too afraid to come onto this branch line. We could go out of business. Thomas soon apologized the best he could, and he puffed sadly away. After Thomas dropped off Annie and Clarabelle, he was soon on his way home. Neither him or his driver said a word to each other after the turn of events. However, when Thomas arrived back at the sheds, the Fat Controller was waiting for him, and he didn't look too pleased. Thomas, I'm not happy of what occurred today. You know you're not supposed to speed on your branch line. Not only that, you failed to obey orders and endangered people's lives. I am very disappointed. Thomas, I am sorry, but I can't allow this reputation on my railway. I'm gonna have to ban you from your branch line until I can trust you again. Yes, sir, stuttered Thomas, and then the Fat Controller left. There was no use in arguing with the Fat Controller, as what Sir Tom had said was true. So Thomas decided to get some sleep and do his shunting the next day. As punishment, the next morning, Thomas had to spend all morning arranging and shunting trucks and trains into their proper places. Thomas despised this. The dirty trucks were loud and aggravating as he had to shunt them all into their proper places. They did not cooperate at all. He even had to shunt his own coaches for another engine. Soon, when his shift was over, he rested in the siding until the engines came to collect their trains. Then, he found out that Hurricane was taking his coaches.
Finally, a job for my type.
The passengers and the coaches were delighted to see Hurricane again. Oh my, it's Hurricane! Pleasure to have you again, Hurricane.
As to you, Annie and Clarabelle, let's get this show on the rails.
Oh, why does the Fat Controller depend on him to make other engines' lives miserable? He thinks he's so better than any other engine. Maybe because he isn't a nuisance to the rails, sniffed Henry, and puffed proudly away. Next morning, Thomas woke up with the Fat Controller standing in front of him. Thomas, I need you to deliver some supplies to the construction site, as they are building a new line to Brendam Docks. Oliver will explain everything to you, so you better pay attention to what he's saying. You'll be doing this every day until the line is complete, and if you've been doing a good job, I may consider of giving you your branch line back. Yes, sir. But Thomas wasn't having any of it. He was cross about shunting in the yard. He was cross about losing Annie and Clarabelle. And most of all, he was cross about Hurricane stealing his popularity and branch line. And I'm sorry to say, his mind was only to those things. Thomas soon arrived at the site. Good day, Thomas. Nice to see you again, and nice to see that you brought our supplies. But before we continue getting to work, we gotta confirm the requirements. First, don't come in too fast, as the dirt and the gravel is getting loaded down. We don't want an accident now, do we? And we need you to warn engines to be careful when we put the danger signs. There's a junction, and one goes here, and one continues down the main line. Remember to warn engines to be careful when passing. We don't like engines barging through and messing up the work we've just completed. Thomas, are you paying attention? Yeah, Oliver. Okay, now that that's over, let's unload your car so you can leave. Soon, the steamroller flattened the mulch, and the dump truck moved all of it out of the way so they could load down the supplies. And then, Thomas headed back to the yard to drop off his empty trucks. When he got back to the yard, he moved his empty trucks onto a siding for them to be out of the way. But then, Hurricane arrived after his passenger train.
Well, Thomas, I can't say I feel sorry for you, but you're gonna have to improve your coach skills.
But I do have coach skill. I have my own branch line for a reason, whatever that means.
Well, your recent action has not been showing it. That's why I'll need more libido engines like me.
I...
Toodles.
What are you up to? Quiet. Thomas was soon puffing down his branch line with Annie and Clara, looking very suspicious indeed. Thomas, are you sure you're off punishment? Hurricane didn't say anything about this yesterday. Hurricane, hurricane, hurricane. That's all everyone talks about. I'm back on this branch line, and it's gonna come back to normal, how it always was. Well, Thomas, it is pleasing that you know what speed passengers like and what they don't like. Doesn't it feel nice to just slowly puff down the line? It does, doesn't it? No, no! Thomas, you said you were gonna take it easy from now on! Thomas, I told you to be careful! Now look what has happened! Oh, Hurricane, thank goodness you're here to help! Don't touch her! You've been ruining everything since the top man made you take over my branch line. I know what I did was wrong, and I'm sorry. But now I've got to stay in the yard and shunt trucks while every passenger on my branch line is scared of me. It's not fair! Now I'm never gonna get my branch line back. I'm a nuisance to the rails. I never deserved to see the world.
Damn it, I know you've been a lot, and I'm sorry. I shoved it in your face, but we can start over. I'm not perfect, and if I thought I acted all snooty and proud, I would have friends. But it just made me unlikable. So, Thomas, can we please start over?
Of course, Hurricane. Soon, help arrived. Thank you, Hurricane, for looking after my passengers and my coaches. I guess I never really appreciated it earlier.
I remember the fight control to shorten their punishment.
And soon, Thomas and Hurricane were soon friends again.